Hello, welcome to the program. I'm Ingrid Willinge. Ahead, Nine releases its first earnings results as a publicly listed company. The subscription industry holds its annual lobbying event in Canberra, and the entertainment world and viewers alike mourn the passing of TV star Charlotte Dawson. But first, DMG Radio has changed its name to Nova Entertainment. Chairman Lachlan Murdoch, whose Illyria bought out the company in 2012, says this marks a new chapter for the business as it broadens its offering outside of the core radio division. Well, to tell us more, we're joined by Cathy O'Connor, CEO of Nova Entertainment, and as always, our co-host James Manning, editor and publisher of Mediaweek, is here too. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Cathy, I might just start with you, asking you about this has been sort of rumoured, or it's been imminent for about 18 months. How come we've only just heard about it, the change of name?
Well, I think the rumours probably started when Lachlan Murdoch's Illyria bought the other half of the company, which was in August of 2012. And that was the point at which the Daily Mail Group, or DMGT, in our name DMG, that was the point at which they were no longer involved in the business. So I think most of the speculation was that the name no longer had relevance to the company. But for us, back then in 2012, it was only 2 or 3 months since we'd launched Smooth. We'd only just, really started to see some growth in the Nova part of the business. So we were really busy just launching and working on the key brands. So frankly, we didn't have a lot of time, and changing the name it's a fiddly process. There's a lot of operational heavy lifting that you've got to do. So we just did it when we felt we had the bandwidth to get to it. So wheeling it out yesterday as Nova Entertainment we planned very calmly, and we had a lot of fun, and it was a really great day for the company.
Cathy, your main game is Nova, the radio brand. I think now you ended last year the #1 network around Australia.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, is it sort of a nice side effect going to be to help strengthen that brand in what's going to be quite a competitive radio year?
Well, I think it's a natural occurrence in marketing that sometimes the parent brand of a company becomes, the overall company brand, and that's really what's happened in our case. So Nova's been our flagship, if you like. We launched in metropolitan Australia as Nova, and it's the largest part of our business by some way. So it just felt very natural that the brand still had a lot of positive imagery in the marketplace. It's well known. It embodies a lot of the principles that we still really stand by about creativity and innovation, and we felt it would stand very proudly as the company name. Does it help us in the media space that we get to reinforce our core radio brand? Of course. The more that advertising agencies and our advertisers are actually hearing the name Nova, the better for our business.
The name sort of reflects transformation as well, and I know, you guys are trying to expand into other areas outside of radio. How aggressive are you in that move?
Well, I think we want to do things that make sense. So any adjacent sort of opportunity that allows us to either grow audiences or bring our brands to new audiences or build out new offerings for advertisers is something that we're always going to be interested in. So the sorts of things that we've done with the Smooth TV channel on the Foxtel platform, which has been a great partnership for us, launching shopping apps through our mobile offering, and entering into partnerships such as Audio in the music streaming space. They are all representations of the entertainment space. It gives us new platforms to reach customers, to populate our content, and obviously to build out the offering for advertisers. So, of course, we want to do more of it, but I think you can also chase a lot of paths and not really show many returns if you're not careful. So we're going to focus on, the things that show the most potential without, being, overly aggressive, if for want of a better word, in things that aren't really making commercial sense for us.
Could we eventually see standalone businesses that are generating revenues that could maybe rival or your radio business, or will the main focus be on having businesses that are somehow attached to supporting those radio brands?
That's a good question. I think in our case, our radio business keeps growing at a terrific rate. So I can't see anything that would eclipse the profitability of our radio brands for some time, because we're still on that nice upward growth trajectory there. I think that they will be parallel businesses, but they will stand as profitable in their own right, just possibly not the scale of broadcast radio for at least the next 3 to 5 years.
Coles Radio sounds like a potentially lucrative area. How do you plan to do this, I guess, make it work better than other people who have done ad-funded radio stations?
Well, I think what's been so progressive about the partnership with Coles is that Coles have actually partnered with a radio company to deliver this radio in-store experience. Most of the in-store experiences haven't come from broadcast radio companies. In fact, they're all done by separate businesses. So we have a lot of expertise. It's intuitive to us. It's what we do. And we've been able to apply a lot of our broadcast principles to effectively a standalone branded content play for Coles. And I think in the process they've probably been able to leverage some expertise that isn't freely available out there. It gives us a fantastic extension to our offering to advertisers. It gives them a very vibrant, ever-changing radio product which is absolutely competitive and of the quality of the analogue FM space. And it's just been a terrific new opportunity for us, and one we think will show great potential for both us and our partners Coles.
Good acquisitions be on the radar. Now you've got the the rebranding, the slightly wider focus. Would you look at that?
Settle down. Look, I think any board would look at any opportunity if it made commercial sense.
Maybe more so now than you might have in the past.
Well, I think we've probably got more organic growth available to the business, and all these new platforms that we've built. There's tremendous upside if we did nothing else. So I think in the short term our focus is probably on making what we've got show good returns, and in the process you bring further growth to the business, and from there I think you're more than open to looking at what else the industry might present by way of opportunity.
Look, commercial radio has been in a bit of a dispute with the PPCA over streaming music royalties. Are you already making payments for royalties for the music you play via traditional broadcast?
Of course we are. So we are licensed, obviously, to broadcast music in the analogue FM space. And this dispute is about the exact simultaneous simulcasting of the radio signal. So obviously, as we are licensed to create that content, we don't believe we should have to pay twice. And we don't believe that there should be an additional tax on our content just because a listener chooses to consume us through a smartphone or through their desktop in the workplace, or all these various forms of internet transmission that are coming up into our business. So we very clearly believe that we have a very strong case, and one that we think is a policy issue for the federal government. In as much as it's a commercial issue about copyright, we do believe that the government needs to acknowledge the social role that radio plays in regional Australia, in the cap cities, not only about music content and Australian content, but about emergency services messages during, crisis times. And all these things will be interrupted if we aren't able to transmit our content on any platform that a listener chooses to consume it on.
The copyright owners are pushing this very hard. I mean, are you paying significant amounts of money, or do they think you're maybe getting a lot of music, a little bit cheaply?
I think we pay significant amounts of money for the right to broadcast music. I don't think anyone's disputing the money that we do pay in the broadcast space. For the traditional broadcast, but what we do dispute is having to pay twice, because that exact same content is consumed through an IP device.
But going forward, you're still seeing a lot of organic growth in radio, right?
Of course. I mean, we are a very young business by comparison to the established other, larger networks in Australia. Smooth FM is 2 years old. It's only just reached, a sort of an audience that's competitive in that 25-54 demographic, and when partnered with Nova, it's a terrific audience footprint. The radio industry and the radio medium is growing in its revenues, its audiences are growing, and in the process our ratings and shares are growing. So of course there's lots of upside still for us to realise.
All right, Kathy, we'll have to leave it there, but thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Kathy O'Connor there, CEO of Nova Entertainment. We do have to take a quick break here on Mediaweek, but coming up, Nine Entertainment releases its first profit report since listing in December. We'll bring you details next.